eat animals is not for survival purposes, it's because we like the taste.
Okay.
But this is the question we ask, can it be justified that we take someone's life just because we enjoy the way that they taste?
Yes. Right, okay. Sorry?
Yes. So would you say your taste buds are worth more than someone else's life?
Yes.
And so why would your taste buds be worth more than someone who wants to live? What's so
I'm not
special about
eating
it?
someone, I'm eating an animal.
Okay, but this is where I guess as a society we'd be conditioned to think of animals as things, right? You know, people refer to
So
animals.
how far do you go on your veganism?
So we're against all animal use at all.
All animal use. So you don't mind the fact that all the dyes and the clothes you're wearing have been tested on animals.
Yes, I would mind if
But
I was,
you're wearing it, so it's a contradiction.
But how do you know that I'm wearing anything that with the dye tested on animals?
Because it all is. Everything is.
Not every single dye is.
What? Burghouse don't test their dyes on animals.
Was it made from plants? They're killing plants, these people.
Yeah,
But you're killing plants.
Yes, but you're trivialising the lives of animals now by comparing them to plants.
They're living living.
So if someone killed you, that's the same as chopping a tomato.
I didn't say that.
Well, you did by comparing
I am
animals to
saying you're
plants.
killing plants.
And you're saying that animals then are comparable to plants. You're a species of animal, so you're saying that killing you is the same as killing a plant.
You don't know what a plant feels, do you?
So if
Tell
I was
me.
to jump up and down on that grass there, you would call the police.
No.
And if I was beating a dog, would you?
Because you have no conscience about it, killing plants.
No, I don't, because they're not sentient beings, and you're trivialising the lives of animals.
I'm not talking about animals, I'm saying you're killing against the vegetative. You're killing plants.
Yeah, but why do you
I'm not talking about animals, I'm talking about killing plants.
So you're a plant rights activist? Are you a plant rights activist?
No.
Well then why are you concerned about me killing plants?
Because that's not true.
You're concerned about us eating meat.
Yes, because
so why
animals are
can't he
sentient
be
beings.
concerned about
There
you
is no
killing
valid
plants?
So
argument
you know there's a
against it.
distinction
There is.
yourself.
There
You
is
know
a
there's a
valid
distinction
argument.
yourself. Before I was a vegan, the 23 years before I was a vegan, not one meat eater ever raised a concern about killing plants. As soon as I went vegan, boom, every single day, you're killing plants. It's a disingenuous argument.
Aren't
No
you
one
glad
would-
you've heard it at last? Aren't you glad you've heard my point of view at last?
No, it's
Eh? Eh?
hearing it every day from
You've
me.
never-
is
you've never
annoying.
heard it?
I'd never heard it before I was vegan.
But all your clothing, it's nothing to do with animals.
No, so I'm vegan, so everything I'm wearing here comes from plants.
From plants.
Yeah.
I see. Show me. Show me the plants there.
I'm wearing them.
That's no plant.
I can do a catwalk for you if you want.
That's no plant.
It is, it comes from plants. That's denim from cotton.
Show me the soles of your shoes.
Rubber. So no animals had to be exploited for anything I'm wearing or anything I've eaten ever since I've been a vegan. That's what
So,
veganism is.
what are you going to do with all the animals in the world?
So if the world gradually went vegan,
Overpopulated with animals.
yeah, the reason the world currently is overpopulated with animals is because you, the meat and dairy consumer, is paying for them to be mass bred. So 55 billion land animals are slaughtered every year. The more people go vegan, the less and less they're bred over the years. So the overpopulation of animals problem is actually to do with eating meat. More vegans equals fewer farmed animals.
I thought it was to do with breeding.
Yes, we breed
Yeah.
them to meet demand for the consumer.
Yeah. You drink milk,
No,
eggs.
no. So vegans don't eat anything that comes from an animal. Because all animals in those industries have to be exploited and eventually killed as a part of buying those products. So even in the egg industry and the dairy industry, those animals will end up going to the slaughterhouse as well.
You think there's a bit of piety about vegetarians and self-righteousness?
No, I think what's self-righteous is that when someone believes their taste buds trump all life on earth and they have the God-given right to harm whichever animals they want and not be called out on it, that's self-righteous.
Didn't we have an instruction to kill and eat?
From who?
And from the Lord in the Bible?
So
Kill and eat?
do you believe in the Bible?
Yes.
I don't. I'm an atheist.
You're an atheist.
So
Well, I'll tell you something.
Go on.
It's harder to believe in atheism than it is to believe in God.
Well, prove
It's
to me-
harder to have faith in atheism than it is to have faith in God.
Is it? Can you prove to me God exists?
What kind of proof do you want?
Well, I want God to come down now and say I'm God.
Do you want sight? Can you see gravity?
I can't see gravity, no.
Do you want sight to prove God?
I just want some kind of proof of his existence. 'cause
Tell me
people
what
keep
kind
going-
of proof you want.
I said I want God to appear now.
All right. You see that?
Yeah.
You know how it became a watch? I threw it in the air and it became a watch. It had a designer.
No, but the watchmaker theory's been debunked, mate.
It has not.
The reason the world looks the way it looks now is through natural selection, a very gradual process over millions
Come
of
on
years.
now, you must know there's design in the world. Look at all the animals. The animals, they are made for the cold weather, they're made for the hot weather.
Through natural selection, sir.
Eh?
Through natural selection.
Right, if there was a big bang, who lit the fuse?
I don't know.
Ah, see,
But then
he
who
doesn't
created
know.
God? Who
He
created
doesn't
God?
know.
Who
Eh?
created God?
If I said God number one created God number two, what would you say? It
say-
wasn't created. A creator is not the creature.
So who created?
Eh?
So who are you saying created God?
No
God
one
number
created
two?
God.
Then
Eh?
how did he come into existence then?
We don't know.
That's my position
There are
on the
many
planet.
things-
I currently don't know, but it's.
Look, there are many things I don't know. Can you explain the sky why there's no brick wall, why there's no end to it? How far does it go? Tell me.
I don't know. But what does
See,
this have to do?
he's got things he doesn't know anyway.
I don't know much about it. They say we only know 1/millionth of everything there is to know as a species.
You cannot admit there is design in the world.
No, it's formed by natural selection. Nature designs it essentially. Through
No,
natural
no.
selection. Yes, through evolution. Don't you? Yeah. So we look the way we do, plants look the way they do because of natural selection. Over millions of years, biological things changing. Genetics.
I believe in creation and evolution, that we evolve and change slightly. Sometimes people were smaller, they were taller.
Yeah.
But that's a different thing to creation.
Okay, and if you believe that evolution is compatible with Christianity, which is good,
Yes.
so you're a man of science as well as God, which is good, because a lot of Christians deny evolution. Do you not think that veganism can be compatible with Christianity? Do you think God mandates you to eat meat and animal products?
Yes, design, yes.
What he says you
command,
have to
command.
You have to kill
Kill and
animals.
eat, kill and eat, yes.
Why would he want you to do that?
Why will you stop telling God what he can and what he can't do?
I don't want your God telling me what I can and
Hey,
can't
hey.
do. Why is your God telling
Tell
me
me,
to kill animals?
why are you writing your own agenda? You think you can make your own script? You, on Earth for 70 years, have a bigger vision than a big God.
I've been on Earth for 70 years. I've been 28 years.
Well, you know what I'm saying, 70 years and 10, whatever. Why is it you want to write your own agenda? I'm
not
going to
my own
write,
agenda.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to write my own highway code. Let everyone pick for himself.
Well, this isn't
Oh,
my own agenda.
When we have a game of football, even if they're criminals, they want a referee. They don't pick their own rules.
But now you're talking now as if God wrote the Bible when it was written by men, mate. Men wrote the Bible, so that was their own agenda.
They were inspired.
Well, inspired. That isn't God's handwriting, is it? It's some blokes being inspired by the idea of God.
Do you have a problem with that?
Oh yeah, because it's a book that's telling us how if it's your form of Christianity, yeah. I don't mind Christians where they say I want to live in harmony with animals on the planet. If you're saying your God commands you to kill animals,
Yeah.
then that is a problem with your religion, yeah. Because it's inherently violent.
As I said, will you stop telling God what he can and what he can't do?
I'm not talking to God, I'm talking to you.
No, you are.
Sorry,
You're not God.
In the exchange, can I just ask? Are you suggesting from what the gentleman has said?
Yeah.
So am I correct in thinking that my teeth have the ability to chew through meat?
Yeah, they have a bit that to chew through meat and plants, yeah.
If they have the ability, and from what you just said,
Yeah.
you use natural selection.
Yes.
So the current position I'm in, using that methodology of understanding, has brought me to a position where my teeth have the ability to chew through meat. And if that be the case, then even from a natural selection perspective, there should be no harm in me eating the meat.
But we have the capability to do many things.
No, the capability, sorry, George.
Yeah.
The capability is through reasoning.
Yeah.
But natural selection is separate from reasoning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what's naturally
Right.
actually
So what naturally has happened has allowed me to naturally have teeth which can chew through meat. So that should be permitted logically.
But then if we take that logic, that means we should lower the age of consent to 11 because girls have evolved to be able to be pregnant around 11. And we know that that's not okay.
Now wait a minute. Again, what you just said is absolutely correct. However, taking your position, it should not matter, should it?
No, it should matter because we can reason.
That's reason again. No, but if we look at natural selection, for example, I'm just going on your reasoning here. Yeah. For example, naturally speaking, okay, the female body gets ready For what reason, according to evolution?
To be able to have children. That's around 11
When does that
years old.
start?
Around 11 years old.
So what should the age of consent be?
Well, it should
According
be
to
higher.
natural selection.
According to natural selection, it should be 11, but we're a society that says it should be higher.
So it entirely depends on how a perspective is being seen here. From what you're saying, because if I take your reasoning to its logical conclusion, then you are going to have to disagree with yourself according to that. The teeth, naturally speaking, are present for me to be able to chew through meat. So, on a natural level, I should eat meat.
So then on a natural
On a natural selection. Let's just go through. Is that yes? It is not. You can't say no. Yeah?
It means you can, it doesn't mean you should.
I agree with that. I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you, but that's reasoning applied. Okay? And I have no problem with that. However, if I'm going to take your position, which is what you said to the gentleman, that look, because of natural selection, X, Y, and Z happened. Well, if that is the case, then on both points that you have raised, number one, natural selection has determined for me to have teeth which can chew through meat. So there's no problem with that. Secondly, you brought up about the age of consent, which I agree with, okay? However, if we look at it from a natural selection perspective or evolutionary perspective, then you are also making the admission that as soon as that female is biologically ready, then the female is ready, irrespective of the age, according to the evolutionary perspective. Am I wrong in what I'm thinking?
Yeah, but what I'm saying
I'm
is,
not,
as
am I?
a society...
No, don't apply reason here.
Why not?
I'll
Why
tell you.
can't we apply
I'll tell you why.
reason?
Sorry.
Morality. He's applying morality.
Yeah.
Excellent. I agree. Sorry, brother.
You can see we're hurting animals. We can detect that something we are infected with. So that means we know it's about it. So we're applying
Yeah. If we're so concerned about nature, what about your natural compassion that you have? If you were to see a living being being harmed, a sentient being, you would intervene and stop that person harming an animal, I think.
Like I said earlier on, I see what you are saying, but as the brother here just said, and rightfully so, if we are going to bring in morality, that is subject to reason, because morality changes according to which location we are in.
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Well, societal laws, yeah.
It does, doesn't it? So, just going on your point, yeah, we know that if we go back a few hundred years, the age of consent was 12 here in the UK. In fact, if you go to Europe now, they are all separate.
Yeah.
Here's the logic. If it is 16 in the UK, yeah, and it is 15 in one of the European countries, if that 15-year-old comes here, have they committed a criminal offense?
I don't know.
The answer would be yes. Okay, but here's an issue though.
Yeah.
Age of consent, again, is, as you pointed out, is dependent on how we collectively as a society view things.
Yeah.
And things change accordingly, and sometimes it comes to the stage where some form of law has to be promulgated to ensure that people do not do anything under that. So the age of consent was brought up to 16. Now, the problem here is, and I'm sure research will show you, that when you look at the readiness sexually of partners, okay, male and female, the age is rapidly starting to go down again. Yeah? In fact, the researchers are suggesting that it has now come back to the age of 8. Question is, well, if this is what we are looking at, and now here is the question which we ought to answer. If you have evolution and you have reason, which one will take precedence?
Reason, without a doubt.
Okay.
Because to use evolution would be a fallacy known as the appeal to nature fallacy. We can't base our ethics on evolution. Otherwise, we would have to lower the age of consent to 11 because girls can have evolved to have...
Right. Is it a fallacy though?
Yes,
let's look at it.
Because we're justifying morals based on nature. That's a fallacy.
Ah, excellent. So I then have to ask this question to myself. Yeah, if we are going to appeal to nature, yeah, as a suggestion, okay, then I would suggest this: that if my reason tells me, I look at an animal, I feel compassion for it, but my natural inclination is to eat the animal. What is wrong with my process of reasoning?
Because you're not looking at things from the victim's point of view. The animal does not want to be eaten.
Okay, now if I look at it from the victim's point of view, it's going to sound a bit silly this. But I want to know of one cow that came to me, because if you look, I'm sure you mentioned it on your card, that each religion has said things about being compassionate to animals. Yeah? You mentioned that to that gentleman. Yeah? Now, if you look at it from that perspective, then we come back to what this gentleman said about some overarching authority establishing for you what you can and what you cannot do. And it isn't left to the reason of men, which can change at the flick of a button because things just don't suit us. Which one is more logical? Sorry, I was just asking the question. Which one is more logical?
This gentleman was going to say something.
All life wants to live. All life wants to live. The basic instinct of life, survival.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is morality is very much a subjective thing, and it's very much about what we think is right or wrong to harm someone else. I'm saying it's more considering things from the victim's point of view, as no animal wants to be eaten.
I can see the point you're making. However, you know, if you take it back a few minutes ago when we were discussing other cultures, and I said that there are still cultures now which totally are reliant on animals for their feed, for their clothing, etc. Are we now going to make a moral judgment on them?
I would say, I don't think it's okay to kill any animal for any human.
I never asked you that. I'm asking you, are we now in a position to make a moral judgment against them?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
The answer is a yes.
I don't.
Now, if that is what we are going to do, then now we have a serious problem. Because between us and them, who are more reliant or more conversant with nature, us or them?
They are more reliant on animals to survive than we are.
No,
that's
I didn't say that.
I don't preach to Aboriginals.
No, George,
people.
my question was, who is more, how can we say, in touch with nature, us or them?
Well, them, because we have technology.
Them. But here's the problem though. You see, and you pinpointed it. We have developed certain kinds of technology. Okay? Now, here, the central issue that you have, George, is looking at it from the victim's perspective.
Yeah.
That's what we are saying here. We are saying, okay, wait a minute, if we are looking at it from the victim's perspective, I then have to naturally think to myself, okay, do I seem to have a position where that particular thing, animal, call it what you want, seems to be subservient to me? Correct? Yeah. How have I come to this position? Because of this. Am I right?
Yeah, you're thinking it.
Yeah. No. Our ability to be able to use reason and have a position where that animal is subservient to me.
So now you're agreeing that we should use reason?
No, I didn't say that. Because the natural position you can't disagree with.
What do you mean justification?
The animal, I can take it and I can kill it. Yeah, I have the capability. Yeah, I have, don't I? Yes. But you see, the natural position, you are going to have to agree that I have got teeth naturally, which allow me to chew meat. So you've got to exceed. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. We've agreed on that. However, if we are to apply reason now, reason now is telling me I have the position in which I am and eat it. Okay? I have to now think, will the animal feel pain?
Or you also have the ability to reason to not eat it.
I agree.
See something else.
I agree, but that's what we call hitting the nail on the head. Are you giving me the choice to do that?
Yeah, I'm giving you the choice now as someone living in a developed country to avoid exploiting animals.
But are you going to, no problem, but are you going to give me equally the choice to be able to do exactly that to the animal?
I can't give you the choice to. I'm just presenting you the choice to not harm animals.
I agree.
I don't want you to slaughter an animal in any way. There's no right way to do the wrong thing.
Now, this is the point though. You see, for me and you to think about about what is the right way. Is the issue.
You don't value anything.
What do you think you consider to be the right way? I can say is the wrong way. You return and say what I think is the right way, according to you is the wrong way. How do we resolve this impasse?
Ban the halal slaughter.
Every
Ban the halal slaughter.
Okay, you are entitled to your opinion.
But this is the point. Everybody is not opinion. One person is trying to convince the other person. So what he's saying, elevate the animal to the level of the human. You don't harm human because what naturally comes to you. That I don't want. I want to be treated, so I will treat you in a certain way. He's saying the same thing with the animal.
Yes.
Consider the feelings of animals. Now, when you're treating a human, you don't have to make an extra effort.
There is no trait. Name me one trait that is present in animals or lacking.
If we elevate,
I'm not saying that the
we
equivalent.
will produce the animals in the
I'm saying that the
perspective
line
that we see other humans.
and we will look back in horror at what we did to animals. My point is
That's an opinion.
these lines which are arbitrary. We wouldn't accept
We are all
that like
entitled.
if a human possessed those traits. The ones that we say, people might be like, oh, it's okay to eat animals because they're dumb. But if it's being able to live free from a life of exploitation, that's the right we want to give. Right, but we would still say that human is worthy of moral consideration. It shouldn't be objectified and enslaved.
Why? Is it subjective? Because animals don't want to be.
I'm so glad you are saying that.
Everything is subjective.
If everything is subjective,
No, so one tries to convince the other person everything.
I agree. But what we are saying right now, we are in a position where he says yes, I say no, I say yes, he says no. We are at an impasse.
Well, in the sense,
In other words,
they would
the
like
current
try and avoid pain,
that
like
I'm saying you position on a natural level,
in the sense
then I don't
that you know they struggle.
because then it allows me my teeth or ability to chew meat.
Well, I mean, animals.
You have the
But that
conscience.
doesn't mean we should. Why base morality on your teeth?
The conscience.
Why base morality on your teeth when you can base it on your own logic to avoid harming animals?
I agree. But you see, you are agreeing with me actually with the two issues I raised. One is reason and one is nature. Which one takes precedence?
And if
We
someone is
agree
in a moral
reason.
nature,
Yes, we agree reason.
in the same sense, if
Because of
someone
what?
who because we have the ability to not
We are
understanding
understanding.
morality.
So now we are coming back to the discussion where I said,
understanding
okay,
morality.
George, you are saying yes, I'm saying no. We are at an impasse. How do we resolve it?
So I ask you, do you have any necessity to exploit animals? You need to kill animals.
If I were to say yes, what would be the problem?
To value. I would ask you why you need to kill animals.
I'll tell you. I love the taste of meat.
That's not a need, that's a want.
One second. I love the taste of meat, and when I feel like it, I will eat it. That's not a want, that's a need.
I like women.
No, that's a
to rape
want.
them.
Brilliant,
need to.
brilliant. Listen
I
to
like
what
to
he
rape
just said.
them.
He likes women, he likes to rape them. Do you think that is a
No,
comparison?
Yes, so he's saying,
Is it a
I
comparison?
like sex, that means
No,
I should
he
rape.
didn't say that. Let's get it right.
No.
He said, I like women and I like to rape them. Now,
It's
question.
similar- is it similar to
is it
saying-
similar? According to the, I agree, brother. According to natural selection, if we leave everything to our baser desires, it's not wrong, is it? What he said.
No, I'm saying I'm
Because we're looking at things from the victim's perspective.
saying you said I can kill animal. I like the taste, so I'm allowed to kill and eat it.
No, I didn't say that. I was telling him that the distinction the brother made between want and need.
So what
I
is your
addressed that.
so what is a need to kill animals in your situation where you live in a developed country and you have access to anything you want to eat without harming animals? Why do you have the need?
1 second. You see, when I kill an animal, the first thing that has to be established is whether I consider it as though I'm harming the animal.
Well, you
I
are
need-
because the animal
No,
has
no,
to be
no.
harmed for you to eat it.
But that's a position you are holding because of what you are. It's not because
It's a
you
fact.
think.
It's a fact. It's not my position.
fact.
Anyone here, meat eater or not, will agree that you must harm an animal in order to eat them.
Right.
They have to have their throat slit.
Okay, you have to kill the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah? Throat slit, shoot, whatever.
Yeah.
The point I'm making here is, and this is the impact, whatever I am doing, okay, I'm entitled to do, even in this developed country. I'm entitled to do that, aren't I?
I would say no.
His point about rape is you're entitled.
It's because, like, I'm not trying to convince indigenous tribes to go vegan either, because they have to.
Yeah, you're saying just because you want to do something, you have the right to do
You are
it.
not entitled to do
brother,
anything.
actually, you know what, you are absolutely right, and that's the point we are making.
You keep saying that. You keep saying that to me also. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I would say that you also have to apply morality to this.
I agree. However, before you apply, before you, I just want to, no problem, brother. After you are applying morality, okay, I have again, like I said, I have no issue. But the comparison that the brother made is a correct one. The point that is being made here is this: that if he says he can do that, what is there to stop him in this country? If he attempts to do what he said, what is there to stop him?
Just because someone can't stop someone from doing it, that doesn't mean they should do it. So
I agree.
If a woman's been raped down an alleyway and I can't intervene, that doesn't make the rape right.
But you see, there's a problem here. The rape has already been classified as a criminal offense. So it doesn't matter where you do it. Okay, if you are found out, you will be prosecuted. The difference is vast between the two. However, the animal, if we say, and that's the effort that you are putting in from what I gather, is to get the society to think to the extent that, look, if there is an alternative to eating meat, why not take it? Because it doesn't necessarily mean that whatever form of suffering you are going to be inflicting on the animal, you are going to be withdrawing from that. And the animal will be safe. That is what we are saying. Okay? However, taking it to its logical conclusion, I am saying, if naturally I have the ability to eat meat, okay? And you said, and I agree with you, that reason should now supersede what we do. Yes. Then it comes to that ultimate question: who will be the final arbiter in determining whether we can or we cannot?